Hi guys, Prestone Mage here, recording match 1 of the MTGO Cube, um, Modern Cube I should say, and just wanted to show you guys that I made some changes based on thinking about the deck and looking at some of the cards and speaking to one of my friends about some of the cards, and basically I added these 4 cards and I took out these 4 cards. A lot of them are good in their own right, or in specific strategies, but I added these 4 in particular over these 4 um, because, for example, for Blasphemous Act, there's some kind of instant win almost um, scenarios where Boros Reckoner is on the battlefield and we can just cast this and target the opponent with the trigger. Next is kind of Bonfire if we can draw it in the late game. So a suggestion from a friend that it's just kind of like game over. A Johnny Goldmane, I know it's maybe not as powerful as like some of the other 4-drops that we could have in there, like Hazoret or Restoration Angel. But in our particular build, we have a lot of early creatures and ways of making tokens that we want to include ways to make our creatures bigger. So we can just minus it affects the board immediately, puts a bunch of +1/+1 counters on stuff, and lets us attack with vigilant creatures. And then Adorned Pouncer, just again, if we're going to be pumping our guys, it's a pretty good early drop instead of something like maybe Soulscar Mage. And then also, like if we have Soulscar Mage in play with Boros Reckoner and we want to cast Blasphemous Act, I think everything will just get a bunch of counters and that won't trigger. Alright, so let's go ahead and find ourselves a match. And then I kind of really was thinking about running Searing Blaze, but if we're going to play it, we don't have any fetch lands, so if we're going to play it to its maximum effect, we kind of have to play it during our main phase. To play land, hit the opponent for 3, deal something for 3. So I kind of didn't want that in there for that reason. Alright, so we win the roll, and we'd like to play first. Alright, so we have a single mountain, and a 1-drop and a 2-drop. So this is a deck that can survive off of like, you know, this, or like 2 lands for a while, but I don't know about 1, so I think we're just gonna have to mulligan. Okay, so that's a lot better. It's not as quick and aggressive, but at least we'll be able to cast our things. The Blasphemous Act is kind of like mulling to 5. So we're going to keep this one. And our trail, I think we bottom it just because we want more action on the play. We have removal in hand. Alright, so I think we have a double white spell in our deck, so we'll play the plains first instead of the mountain. Okay. Blue-green. So I don't know if we want to play Abbot this turn. I mean, yeah, I don't think we'll get the extra card out of it, but maybe we just wait to get the extra card. I mean, even then it'd have to be a 1-drop, right? Spellfield. Okay, so I think we just, unfortunately, I think we just play it. So, like even like, we play it next turn. Okay, yeah, like even if we waited a turn to play that, we wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't have been able to cast it. But that's kind of unfortunate that we didn't draw that card because it would have been good against our opponent who's playing blue, and they'll likely have a lot of card draw. So they ramped themselves. Okay, so nice, a good card to draw into. Let's cast this pre-combat. It's a little... Okay, so we go ahead and attack here. on the turn. Next turn we can potentially hit for 6. If they play something, we might be able to burn it and hit for 7. Who knows that maybe we even... Okay, so we're definitely going to burn that. So they'll probably, yeah, for their land. And, so we'll make sure to play our land first, in case they have something like Spell Pierce. I think we got Spell Pierce sometime in this draft. Not this draft, but like our previous modern cube drafts. In combat, sure. Okay. Opponent's at 11. We can attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 next turn. I mean, let's say they play, just hypothetically right now, if we wanted to cast this, or next turn, we'd have, oh great, and so that's going to be good for something like this, but again, we can sweep our board if we do that. So, it's kind of like a catch-all. Like if it was a creature, like if we didn't play that and we played a creature or burn spell instead, like a Banefire, like Banefire would be great right now. Like if that was a Banefire, we'd just win the game, I think, if this attack goes through. So maybe that's a consideration. Like they don't seem to have that many creatures. So, you know, maybe these kind of sweeper effects aren't that great. They're just going to be worse for us than for the opponent. So next turn they block our biggest guy, but they can still take 4 if they don't add anything to the board. So they have 5 cards in hand, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, 7 mana. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. So what could they have? Maybe Aetherize or something like that. I don't know. We haven't seen it, so we'll just continue to attack. Cryptic. Okay, so probably tap, draw a card. Right. Sure. So I think we actually, did we play that? I think we actually play it. Seems bad, but when they're at such a low life total and they're short on blockers, like we're gonna make another token. Like it makes them have to cast a creature on their turn because they're gonna get a token, so they can block like maybe these 2 guys and take 1, 2, 3. But this will make. Luckily we get to play around Supreme Will. But Brimaz will pump out another token, so that'll be 3 attacking, 4 attacking 1/1s. So potentially they can block the 2. They ended up sacking their spawn, but basically this just isn't really getting better, I don't think. So we'll see what the opponent has. Okay, Noble Hierarch. So I think they're just throwing out chump blockers, 4, 5, 6 mana, 7 mana. So they have 4 cards in hand. All roots have 3 blockers. Just 0 power guys. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, see, it's pretty bizarre. Like Blasphemous Act will actually only cost us 1 mana. So they'll have 1, 2, they have 4 blockers. Alright, so if we chain to rocks, let's say this card. Is that first strike? Oh, first face down, okay. Then we attack with our 5 guys, we'll have 6 attackers. We'll have 3 walkers, so 1, 2, 3. So 3, 6. 3 will get through. Oh yeah, and then we get the prowess trigger. So, I mean, for a sideboard, let's see what this card is. Does the opponent have a response? So they have cards like Cryptic, Tireless Tracker. Ended up being a Den Protector. Okay. So I think they'll go to 1, right? They'll have 1 creature to our many. So that's kind of good that we got that, because they probably would have been able to get Cryptic back, tap our guys, blah blah blah. Maybe postpone the game a lot longer, because we kind of want to kill them quickly, just because that their deck is probably it could be better than ours in the late game. But we have a lot of like kind of reach cards anyway, so it's not the worst. Waiting on the opponent here. Three mana. Let's see. Okay, Beast Within targeting Brahmalas. Okay. Okay. Where's our guy there? Alright. Their attacker step. Talk about creatures. Sure, we don't care about any blocks really. Okay. Round 2. Alright. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures to their 3. These aren't lethal. These 3 are not lethal. So they have to block 1, 2. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. Lay claim. Okay. Steal our beast. Alright. Okay. So we're at parity of the creatures. And maybe we can just sit on this Blasphemous stacked. So it's kind of weird, because if this was a Banefire, we would have just won the game already, because it would have been unable to be countered. But now it's kind of weird, because 1, 2, 3, 4. They're almost ahead on board. We're at parity on board. And like this will clear everything. So let me see. So 1, 2, 3 creatures. 2 have to go on this. So I think they put themselves dead. Wait, no. 2, okay. Block, block, block. They take 1. So they go to 1. So we can put them on to 1. They block here. They can block here, block here, block here. We lose a token. They take 1. And then we have a creature. I think I don't know, putting them on a 1 isn't that insane. We have a lot of kind of like Anthem effects, so well, a couple. So I'm just gonna hold off I don't really care about like wrathing their board. They don't like so ahead that we need to. So they're pretty bold if they want to attack, but I don't know. It is. I mean, I wouldn't fault them, I guess. 3, 4, 5 creatures. 2 or 4. I don't think they should attack. They're at 2. Okay, Reckoner. So I don't know if we want to show them the combo. Do we have 1 card in hand? So guys, we may be able to live it. We'll see. Who knows what their 1 card is? We'll see if it works, guys. Okay. All right. So there we go, guys. We won with our bizarre combo that we built our deck into, which is weird because, like I said, we could have won earlier in the game had this been Banefire, but we actually did get to go with our little combo there. All right. With that said, though, we definitely need something like Banefire. Gonna finish off the opponent. We're gonna be on the draw likely, so we need to account for that. So even though that was insane, I don't know. I still want to keep it in though. Like if we're behind and they have like gnarly green creatures or something, like it's gonna be huge. So maybe we just take out Bonfire, or maybe we just take out Angel. Maybe we take out Arc Trail. I don't know. They had like some tokens and whatever. Abbott didn't seem that good. Maybe we just cut an Abbott. Could be wrong. Alright, let's just run it like that. I don't think we need to change any lands. Alright. Kind of X that out, I didn't really see. Do we want a mulligan? So this is like the unfortunate part about having that. So we have 3 burn spells and a wind drop. Let's just keep. It's probably more right to mulligan, but just having a 2/1 on turn 1 is pretty nice. So cool. We got lucky there with the 2-drop. Got a pretty aggressive hand. Okay. Alright, so we'll attack first. Okay, and we'll see if we can resolve this card. They 6th. Okay, so it looks like they don't have a counter spell. Yeah, that's fine. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys. Let me make sure this is not. Okay, I don't think it's muted. Anyway. Alright, turn 3, main phase, let's drop our land, let's go to combat, let's attack with both of our guys. Again, we got really lucky by top decking that 2-drop with a hand like ours. So it looks like they're gonna Psych Rift. Okay, it's fine. So luckily, since we have a 1-drop, we'll be able to cast 2 spells on turn 3, 2 and a 1. So that's kind of like one of the advantages of having multiple different kind of mana costed cards, is because it allows us to have turns like this. Or if I had 2 2-drops, we wouldn't have been able to do that. And they're not just any 1-drops. These are, I think, the only 2 1-drop creatures, but they're pretty powerful. They pretty much were as good as they could get. Like, this was on turn 1, and this was like helped us kind of play multiple creatures in a single turn. Alright, so it's gonna tap something down. We don't have a removal. I mean, if we draw a land, we can cast this targeting that. But this is, if we draw a land, this just might be a better play. Okay, so we got Helix. I think we just Helix. We have 3 lands, so we could actually make this into a 2/2 after Helixing. Nice. Okay. Attack. Okay. Attack. And we won't forget this. Okay, so they'll take 4, go to 11. We might be able to crunch back for 5, 6, 7. Maybe more. Potentially lethal. Alright, so I wonder what they have. They're at 5 mana, they didn't play anything. They can't play Cryptic Command. They could probably flash something in. These are all sorcery speed. So let's just see. We have the option of maybe doing this. But maybe we just... Oh no, guys! I'm sorry. Oh, I was too busy talking, and that's what happens, man. I just skipped through my combat stuff. Alright. My bad. Again, I don't have that much MTGO experience, so sometimes I like kind of do stupid stuff like that. Like maybe I won't play a land. Well, I'll do that in paper too, but yeah, my bad. So if we lose this game, that'll be I think a significant factor that influenced that. Alright, so if we play Koth, they can maybe bait out a counterspell if they have it, which maybe might tax or tap their mana, their lands, which may mean they won't have enough mana to, let's say, cast like a counterspell or something. Or basically, if we bait out a counterspell, they might not have enough mana to be able to cast a spell that influences combat. So, I mean, just in combat right now, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, let's just cast this pre-combat. Okay, it resolved. Okay, so we'll tap our land and then just swing for like a bunch unless we get into combat and then they cryptic our guys. Or I could just go for the win, but if they have something like Aetherize, we're going to be back on our mana. It's alright though. If we play it next turn, we're still on 4. We don't have a lot of high CMC things. I mean, we want to get to this, but we're not like in the biggest rush. So if they Aetherize our guys, we're slowed down. If they don't, they just die. so we'll just go for the win. Beast Within, our mountain, sure. Okay. Okay, so there you go to 1. So it's funny how like we have like this insane, like these insane burn spells, but they're at 1, and like maybe this we can cast. We could cast this for 1. So they're gonna bounce Koth. They have 2 cards and 2 mana. So we'll probably just start our turn by bonfiring them for 1, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I don't know why that's slow. Thank you for watching, and we will bring our next match to you later.